You have brought this up repeatedly on the show, and now I see the meme on Twitter all the time. The way we view Ja, and there's a picture of him. It's like a high school picture of him and his family. It's a family portrait with him and his mom and dad and sister, and they look like a happy family.
Right.
And then the way he sees himself, and it's a picture of a guy who's a gangsta.
Who's a gangsta. Who's a gangsta. Who's a gangsta.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Around the Association. Ja Morant has been in the news not just for his highlight plays or his 30-point triple-doubles. He's actually been in the news for some negative news. Let's just put it like that. Now, Ja Morant, he's at the precipice. He has so much to gain. A lot of people say, for where he come from, he's already gained a lot, but he has even more to lose at this point. Now, Ja, he's kind of at that kind of inflection point where he was just getting to now becoming like more of just a casual NBA fan, knowing who he was. He's at the point of NBA superstardom, almost face of the league. Like Nike has replaced Kyrie Irving and moved him as their top pitch man for Nike. Obviously outside of LeBron James, but in that next wave behind LeBron, Ja is that superstar. He's the endorser, the face of Powerade. And see, when these companies put your face as their brand, they're basically endorsing you. You're endorsing them, but they're saying this is who we want to represent us. You know what I'm saying? And I believe he's far too important to the NBA's future to find himself kind of caught up in, immature behavior and worst case, some dangerous activities that him and, some of his friends, entourage, have actually found themselves into. Now, this conversation reached the desk of Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless, and Shannon sounded like he was someone very concerned for him, even though we know they've gotten to that shouting match early in the year where his Ja's dad T Morant and Shannon exchanged words. Shannon was exchanging words with other Memphis Grizzlies on the team during a game against the Los Angeles Lakers in LA this season. But many forget, Shannon Sharpe, he comes from a little small town similar to Dazle, South Carolina, where Ja's from, and it's you want to see someone from somewhere like you're from make it. If you're not a hater, you actually want to see them make it. Not only make it, do good, set their family up real nice, and then come back and inspire the community in whatever way they feel led to do so. And so I could hear that in what Shannon was saying. Take a listen here at what Shannon had to say in his pleas for Ja Morant.
Ja, it's not Skip. And I understand you don't want to. Like I said, I believe you can go home and have a good time. But Skip, why did you do all of that? You did things that your friends didn't do so you can leave that environment, only to get $200 million, become a Nike endorsee, become Powerade endorsee, to go back and try to infiltrate that to prove that you hard. Why?
Yeah, I 100% agree with Shannon, on this take. No one gets that good at anything without sacrifices, putting in the work. This is what you wanted to do. This is where you want it to go. Okay? And this goes for, let's say Ja is the, which he's not, but let's say he was the biggest gangster, because I know a lot of guys that was really in the streets doing things that could really hoop. Let's say he made it out, but he was really in the streets like that. Let's assume that. Even with that, now that you are at this level, you have to make a decision to step away from something that's going to be detrimental to you. And Shannon actually spoke on that as well. It's like even street cats, gangsters, like that, their whole thing is to legitimize what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the only way I think I can make it now, but as soon as I can go get a business license, as soon as I can go get and make legitimate money where I can report and be a tax-paying citizen and not have to look over my shoulders, the more I can do in that, the more I can leave this life behind. The only reason that would seem enticing to someone to continue to do it is if they've never had to reap any repercussions. It's always been interesting to me, just even growing up, like, people that didn't have any run-ins with the law until they became famous. You know what I'm saying? And it's not necessarily something they're doing. It's the people around them egging them on. Because each of these incidents, it's not just Ja, it's the people he have around him. And Shannon actually spoke on it saying, look, he said, gangsters, they're about legitimizing. They're trying to legitimize their business. Real life gangsters, they're trying to legitimize their business. They're not trying to, make money, go legitimate, and then say, okay, now I'm going to prove everybody, now that I am legitimate, how hard I am. Like, no, I want to disappear so that the generations after me, they don't even have this kind of start to life. Now, Skip actually spoke on, Ja a little bit and touched on some key factors. Take a listen here at what Skip had to say.
Is that Ja is becoming an NBA superstar. And we have two incidents here on top of the laser incident in the parking lot.
Correct.
After a game, a home game, that involved some of Ja's friends. I don't know. What is it?
Yeah.
Are you doing that for your friends? Does that impress? Do you want to impress them? Because as you always say, the more you try to impress your friends, the more likely it is you're going to be sitting with them at games.
They're going to get you in something that you're not going to be able to get yourself out of.